protection and stuff like that. Well, like if someone has copyrighted material, like say if like NBC has a show and then someone uploads it.
I mean, that's illegal.
Right. But
So-
if it's on torrents, it's like, how do you get it down?
You don't.
You don't.
You don't.
So it's just, even though it's illegal.
Yeah, I mean,
There's
and
no
that's
recourse.
why, like, so we have moderation. I mean, if a copyrighted video gets reported on Minds, then, you know, we will take it down from our interface. But it
can't
still exists
right.
on the decentralized network.
So you really can't stop people from sharing it.
No.
No.
No, so, you know, I think I kind of have a nuanced view on copyright. Like, I think that people's work should be protected and, you know, not stolen and monetized. But at the same time, it's just like the nature of information is not compatible with copyright, really.
Right.
Just because information wants to do what it wants to do.
That's one of the weirder things about what's happening with the internet is that essentially as time goes on, it becomes more and more difficult to control what's just ones and zeros. Like as they're out there, the bottlenecks between people and information, they're getting broader. It's getting more and more difficult to stop things. And I think as time goes on, it'll be impossible. I don't think there'll be any stop. I think in the future, like anything, I have a feeling that we'll have zero privacy in the future. I have a feeling that all of this encryption and all this stuff, I think it's all going to be invalid once quantum computing is ubiquitous. I just have a feeling that there's no way you can stop information when technology moves past where it is now to some place where basically anybody could get access to anything at any time. And then the problem becomes, how do you control money when that happens? Because money in a lot of it is just ones and zeros. And the only thing that stops you from being able to steal it or transfer it is encryption. When you don't have any more encryption and anyone kind of has access to anything that's online.
So, yeah, I hear you. It does seem like over time technology is working against privacy, and it's
that's
evolving.
That's a better way to put it.
So,
yeah.
But you know, encryption hasn't been broken. Some encryption has been broken, but encryption is still good. It still works, and as quantum computing advances, encryption protocols will advance too. So it's a race, and there are people trying to break it. But I heard the other day you were mentioning the whole thing with Signal and Tucker.
Yeah.
And so to clarify that, so based on my understanding, Signal has not been compromised. The Pegasus program that you were referring to does have the ability to hack people and get into their device. But once you get into someone's device, it's actually easier to get into someone's machine or phone than it is to hack the encryption protocol. So if you can get into someone's phone, then you probably can get into their messages.
That's what they did.
So that's different. That's different than Signal being irrelevant.
Right. It's not that Signal's irrelevant, but it's just that the government right now has the ability to get into things no matter what. According to Gavin DeBecker, who's a securities expert, he said all they need is your phone number. Mm-hmm. Signal 1 Pegasus 1 was you needed a link. So someone would have to, that's the whole Jeff Bezos story. Someone sent him a link on WhatsApp. He clicked on that link, bang, all of a sudden they have access to his phone.
Right. And you have to be super sophisticated to lock yourself down to avoid that. Like, I'm sure that there are people I know there are people who are probably less victim to something like Pegasus. But,
sure. Yeah. Probably less victim. But I mean, I guess with a guy like Jeff Bezos, he probably has someone scan his phone all the time. But I wonder if they could even detect Pegasus at this point.
Yeah.
And if we know about Pegasus too, how do we know if there's a Pegasus 3? Like whatever sort of workarounds they've found, I'm sure we're not going to be privy to it until it's too late.